Hello and welcome, or should I say, ba weep gran out weep ninny bong
Ah,
Sure.
Is that Canon? We are a podcast. We talk about comic books and the media that inspires them. And this week, giant robots and old 80s cartoons. I'm in.
I,
I'm doing pretty good. How's everybody else? Tank, how are you?
I'm okay, I guess. Like, trying to figure out us streaming and, chatting about
Yeah.
the comics and whatnot. But besides that, the week has been interesting. Watching Brian cut himself open before we start is always good. He's like, I'm bleeding. I'm like, okay, we're about to go live. But sure, if you want to maim yourself, that's okay too. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. And yeah, we're going to be just jumping in and just showing you off some of that bleeding action. Are you clean now? I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that we weren't fully live so people can't see this.
I'm all good now. I think
No.
I'll stop
Brian,
bleeding
how was
everywhere.
your week okay? I'm going to spoil this. This is the third time we've tried this.
Feels like it 5 times. I love the way that we are so, and that's the great thing about us. We just go with it, right? We're like, it's grand.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Fine.
But besides you cutting yourself open, Brian, how are you?
I'm not bad at all. I had a day off. I watched Guardians of Justice. I'm avoiding watching the news too much.
Are you?
So,
You're
yeah,
like me,
half
so.
an hour a day for me.
Oh yeah.
Maximum.
Oh yeah. I just get what I need and get out. Just like all relationships. No.
That sounds like an idea I should take on.
But then again, you've been ticking with the news like kind of like me, but I'm blending it with like tin hat theories of what's happening around my realm of comic, superhero conspiracies, which I'm like screaming at the TV at 2 o'clock in the morning going, I knew it! Well, yeah.
I haven't watched much this week. Was anyone else watching anything? Anyone want to talk about anything?
I've been catching up on a lot of rewatching of What If and falling down several rabbit holes. So that's what I've been up to. And Loki. I want to be in the multi-universe when I grow up. That's the bottom line, guys.
You're getting ready for this big multiverse kickoff in May.
I am not joking. Like, I've already rewatched like Doctor Strange, like God knows how many times. And I'm picking up like little things in different movies or different series where I'm like, hang on the fuck, let me just put that together. And I'm just kind of just making up my own plot holes of an own like, Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to just seeing more fact that we could have mutants.
Yeah.
Do we already?
It looks like this is it. This is the day for mutancy.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, I
Mutification.
will
It's
cry.
about time.
It is.
Someone was like, Marvel should just celebrate the fact that we're kind of out of a pandemic by going, right, now it's time for our mutant era.
Yes. It's just tying up the pieces. I get it.
We
and I
have,
appreciate
we have
it.
cinemas back. We may as well make all these big movies.
They're just printing out cash themselves. And you know what? Rightfully so, because they're kicking out some fat ass shit.
It's a money printing machine.
It is. They're
is.
just they're making magic money. Like, this is the equivalent of NFTs. You know?
No, this is way more ethical than NFTs. People enjoy this.
We can have that conversation off stream. Okay?
Oh, I've had this conversation.
Spider-Man is the 6th biggest film of all time, and it premiered when like a third of the people in the world could actually get to a cinema to see it.
Oh, I know. Okay.
That's insane.
It is
Oh, I
insane.
know. It is. It was so weird, right? That's so weird that like a couple of hours before you have to see the movie, the cinema's all like, I know
Yeah,
this
there's
was
some
your
countries
only
that didn't get
opportunity.
any money from.
They gave me a
Oh, okay.
€15 coupon for the inconvenience.
Wow, that's kind of.
That doesn't really mend my broken heart.
That's like.
And they're like,
that's-
you
that's-
get. And the thing was that you could use that in cinema. And you're closed for a month, lads.
That doesn't even get you in and popcorn.
Stop. Well, mind you, I have the pass, so it only costs me like €0. But if I'm going like VIP, it's like €2. So
Oh wow. That's
and then I have discounts on my candy and shit if I want to go that direction.
that's
And
pretty good.
alcohol is discounted, and I can have an actual glass in the cinema.
Oh, it's not plastic cups.
No, we're not. We've gone beyond that. We are now civil.
This
had
is
a
something
glass
you
of
could
wine.
not trust Irish people with.
They
at
actually do.
all.
They still do have that bar in the cinema, and you're not allowed to leave that area of that bar with your drink. That's it. Even if you go across the way and get a Slurpee or an extra popcorn, or you're going 2 seconds. No, you can't.
Oh, yeah. If people were able to get drunk and have glasses in this Irish cinema, one guy's phone would get off, and the other guy would throw a glass in the back of his head. Very
I
quickly.
know. I was there in Fibbers the day of the glass turning into plastic, and then wondering why I got a glass. And I was like, because I don't throw them down the stairs at people in rage. You know, like I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense to you. Oh, you just gave me because I'm a woman. Yes, because I'm not throwing glasses at other girls. Like,
I miss Fibbers in the old school days. I can remember walking out into the beer garden one day.
no, the beer garden. It was made out of pallets.
Beer, pallets.
It was pallets.
There was someone piercing someone else's nipple using.
Using
whiskey as a
gun. I'm nearly sure I was there for that.
Two of us were there on the same night.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I lived in that bar. I was part of that furniture. It was almost I was consulted with, like, this is what we're thinking of doing now. So I was like, I don't know if I want to miss the pool table, but if you're putting a bar back there, cool. Like, you know, I know what you're doing. Oh God,
the good old days when there was like
days.
There was like bars and passages between them all over the
Oh
place.
yeah, and it was like you're going into cubby holes and thinking that you weren't being seen to doing the things that people were doing, and then it was always like an ice skate downstairs was what I remember vividly. The ice skating, and the thing is as you go into the back underground on the basement floor, there was this kind of like little walkway up, and then obviously dance floors on the right. But that little walkway up, if that thing was slippy, you know people are like, wee, and everyone did it. Like, everyone's sitting there going, pints, I got pints, and everyone's like, you! Knowing the fact that, there was no sign of hazard. You could have, like, I remember I slipped on the stairs, I wasn't even drunk, I was dizzy that night, and even the bouncers picked me up and they were like, we're gonna make sure your arm's not dislocated, please don't sue us. I was like, I love you guys too much. You have fed me with alcohol many a times when there was no exchange of payment. Like,
this is before health and safety existed.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and sanitary like place.
Yeah.
Like this, you think dive bars are dive bars? This thing was compared to a dive bar. Dive bars would have been beautiful, beautiful looking, scenic, beautiful gardens compared to this place. It was like arriving in a dump, and you're sipping out of this mysterious metal-looking liquid that someone convinced you that's a shot, and you're totally okay with it, even though the barman's like washing it through a fucking dirty ass sink, and it's like there.
And
Probably
your feet would actually like sink into the floor in certain parts.
Oh yeah, and it turned into Velcro as well upstairs on the carpet, so you'd like.
Oh.
But we're not here to talk about fibbers, for God's sake. That's a different
Yeah,
podcast.
Should
I
be.
think
Should
we're
be.
here to talk about Jared Leto.
We can talk about watering holes through a different podcast. We're talking about Jared Leto. Go on, Ado. Go on.
Trailer came out for Mobius.
Sure did.
That looks like the movie that I thought it was going to be. It's kind of a grim-looking Jared Leto-y vampire movie.
Yes, very supernatural. I'm ready for it. I'm very much ready for a supernatural side of this. With the way things are going with Doctor Strange, like I really feel it. You know, I feel like
I would love. If this is good, I'll be really excited about it. But I just cannot get my hopes up.
Why?
I just don't think. I don't know. I just don't think I'm going. I think it's going to be. What's the word?
Well, you
Kind
just
of boring and dull. It doesn't look like it's going to be. I don't know. I don't get excitement from it.
you hurt my feelings.
I'm kind
What?
of with him as well. Like,
I would love it to be good. I think it'd be really cool if you could do a real Mobius movie where a good horror movie comes out of this. And I'm here going, I can't wait for the reviews. God, I hope they're good. And
And yeah, we won't hear that for the next couple of days, right? When it was released? It was released because for PR, I think it's being released. Well, the Batman was released for PR now.
we don't know. I don't know
another
when
2 weeks, it's like.
I don't know when the date is for when the reviews can go up, but I think people have seen it.
Yeah.
That would be really
I'll
similar.
check.
Like,
Let me check it.
the last trailer especially, didn't really do anything to make me go, ooh.
Yeah, like, well, we were getting like little teasers and all that stuff, and it was kind of real mixed messages because people were like, "Oh yeah, is the Vulture going to be there or not?" You know. So it was always kind of that, like, and now we're all thinking like, is he a variant? And then it's a case of like, okay, well maybe it's the Andrew Garfield version that we're going to be looking at. And in my head, I'm like, could this open up the world for Miles Morales? Because then we'll have Kingpin, and then obviously Echo and Daredevil and stuff. But anyway, we can talk about that in a bit.
I don't know if this is opening up anything in this world.
Well, it probably is a variant Vulture. Like.
April 1st, by the way.
Yeah,
I knew it was something to forget.
The thing I think about this movie is I don't see him as a character that I think would be fun to be in other comic book movies. If that makes any sense.
Go on.
And I think this is very much biased against Jared Leto. Jared Leto has pissed me off in everything he's done for quite some time.
Yeah.
As someone who quite likes his band, I think as an actor,
I love this band. 30
Seconds to Mars are really good, and then
great.
I do not think of him much as an actor. I think he's pompous and self-important. I think his Joker is
Gucci.
an
Chanel.
absolute crime. But that's so I kind of think I have that anti Jared Leto. I love Matt Smith, so we'll see how that works. Matt Smith's a really great actor.
Yeah, I can understand your point of view because, in fairness, the whole Joker situation was iffy, but also questionable towards the end of the whole Zack Snyder situation as well. So that's why I'm kind of giving the benefit of the doubt because, in fairness, what we saw initially, everyone hated, and then obviously we got a fire release, which I wish I took a break in between. But
it wasn't even the film that ruined me on. It was my biggest problem is I cannot imagine a Joker that can sit down to get professional tattoos. That is my problem with that character. If it all looked like hand drawn or something, I just can't imagine the character of the Joker sitting down for hours on end.
Doing something like that, yeah.
Yes. It's too normal a thing for someone who it just doesn't work for me. Yeah. And the gold teeth, man. I just don't.
The grill?
Like
it wasn't even gold teeth, it was a grill. And it was quite cringe. There was a lot of moments where it was
it was Gucci Joker.
I understand that we had a campy 1960s Joker, and even when himself, I can't even remember his name off the top of my head, beautiful name, never shaved his mustache. What was the actor in the original Joker?
Yeah.
It's literally on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, himself, when he seen Jack Nicholson see it and how Jack Nicholson did it, he was kind of like, oh, well, I don't like that interpretation. So it could be a case of
but I think
wants to
you can
point
do the
in
Joker as a
direction
crime boss without turning him
into this typical grill gangster weird shit.
Doing things that are too normal, and even if I just don't see that. It doesn't work for me. I hated that from the moment I saw the first screenshot. I was like, this doesn't work in any way. It doesn't scream someone who has it doesn't work for Joker.
No.
I know that's very.
It was a bit of a joke of the Joker, ha 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 pun, but I'm not trying to get a pun, but you hear what I'm saying, you know? Yeah. It was a bit Mickey Mouse.
I think you can have a different interpretation of that character without losing the soul of the character.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought that did. But don't really like Jared Leto. Morbius, I really hope he's good. My only real knowledge of this character is from the cartoon, where he was just a big over-the-top vampire character, and I'd love more of that.
Yeah, I know that fucking feeling. It's a bit. I'm looking forward to it, right, for a couple of reasons, okay? One, we get supernatural into the situation. Two, how is this going to cross over into this idea of the MCU? Will it still be part of the Sony Fox, well, old Fox, if you will, Sony kind of world, or is it going to be a case of we going to see him at some point, Yeah, that's my only concern with this. If he's just a throwaway character to add maybe a Spider-Man universe, get Black Cat involved, I could see that. Definitely
all I can really see is I can see him being in Venom 3.
Cesar Romero, thank you. I knew, I was like, it's right there.
Yeah, wouldn't shave his mustache.
Wouldn't shave his mustache. But yeah.
Can you hear us, Brian?
Yeah, sorry.
He's concentrating on the chat.
Yeah, busy deleting spam and accidentally time someone else out.
Yeah, Reaper, I can see that. Reaper, I'm so sorry. It's not
Sorry
me, it was
about
Brian.
that.
Sorry there.
Yeah.
Mind yourself.
Genuinely sorry.
Irish.
Well,
Sorry.
I did nuke the problem.
At least the lesson was learned. It was interesting.
Oh, yes, I see.
Oh, yes. I love it. I love the message. Slide into my DMs. We'll talk. You bleed. So.
But yeah, I can see Morbius showing up in Venom 3, and it does feel like Venom in this.
But
This
would
is the
Venom
Garfield
3,
universe.
or would it be a Spider-Man with Venom?
It could be another. This feels like this is the Amazing Spider-Man universe. That is.
It
probably what
does,
is.
doesn't it? I feel like standing over and like just going like this, but I won't. We're live.
Do you remember in the last trailer they deliberately went out of their way to show the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man poster on the wall and the Daily Bugle from the Maguire Spider-Man
Oh really?
villains? Yeah.
I missed that.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Now
Yeah.
that's I wouldn't say that's like, oh, this is it. It's in the Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire universe, but obviously they are trying to tie it into the Sony Spider-Man stuff, not
But there's-
the
Yeah.
Marvel
Yeah.
Spider-Man stuff. Like, yeah.
But I'm
What
wondering
I'm fine
how. What's his face? I was gonna say Vigilante only because I love him. Totally different place.
Eddie Brock.
Yes, Eddie Brock. What is gonna happen with him? Is he gonna be continuing? First of all, is our guy Hardy gonna keep going with this character? Because there's been talks about him maybe not continuing, unless I'm hearing bullshit.
I haven't seen Venom 2, so I don't know how that ends.
Oh my god, I can't with you. And Brian, tell everyone how long you watched Doom Patrol.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I watched more.
Trying to convince.
That's Transformers.
Don't even start. Trying to convince all of us on Twitter. Joke's on him. Okay.
Funny, I had a really busy week and I'd forgotten. I'd said we were going to watch.
I had a busy
Transformers, so
week.
you put out the podcast document earlier on, and it was like retro review Transformers. Like, oh right, I better watch that. I've been such a busy week.
This is what they do to me, EK.
Yeah.
This is what they do. It's heartbreaking. Go on.
So the Netflix stuff is going to Disney Plus. The Netflix Marvel stuff.
Yes.
Interesting thing here is that it's going to Disney Plus. It's not going to Star, which is their kind of where they put all their over 18 stuff. This is going to be in the Marvel section in Disney Plus, and they're putting in a new parental control thing.
They kind of need to.
well,
They at least need to save Daredevil.
but yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's just a tad bit much for that age group. Mind you, like, we all seen it at that age because our parents were like, rating, what rating? Back in our day, there's no rating.
Just in case I'm the only one with an actual legit Disney Plus subscription.
No, we're all sharing your account, of course.
The Marvel section has like a section that's like Legacy Marvel, and that's where all the old X-Men films and whatever they've got the rights to go.
Okay.
Right? So they're real specific. Like, this is the MCU, and they have different basically playlists for the MCU. So like, this is phase 1, this is phase 2. This is in chronological order. So you can they have a great playlist that I like.
But do they have a chronological order in terms of how the movie's played out, or?
Yeah. So like the first one's Captain America, because the majority of Captain America is in 1940 whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
So do
You
you
have to stop at a certain point, and go to a different movie, and then you watch.
Wouldn't
the
that be
end.
great? Wouldn't that be
I
amazing
would
though if they
love
actually
that.
did an actual chronological MCU? Like, yeah.
People have
Anyway,
done
so-
that. They've mapped that out and said, this is the order you need to watch all these movies in. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
Why
I
did
want one
YouTube
where-
put me back as top chat? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you have to be top chat. I don't know.
When I saw this, I was thinking, I would save all these characters. I would try and incorporate them all. As much as nobody likes it, I think they should use this Iron Fist in the next Shang-Chi movie. If nothing else, then to put over Shang-Chi as better than him.
Yeah, that would be sick. I'd mark for that.
Yeah, like literally, yeah. Just using to put the next babyface over.
That'd be just weird.
And I think Jessica Jones should definitely be involved in She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely
just-
would see her in that.
doubt.
she's one of these great interconnecting characters, isn't she?
Yeah.
Because she does a stint basically babysitting the Young Avengers, which is very funny because of her character. Because they're all like, "Yay, we're teenagers and we're excited," and she's
like, "I'm an angry alcoholic.
Want to drink." And then you've got
you're the cutest thing, like.
And then you've got her involvement with the Heroes for Hire with Luke Cage and the married kids. She's one of these characters that was introduced with a retrograde continuity.
Yeah.
So like Sentry, who was there all along, even though we didn't know about it. Jessica Jones is an ex-Avenger who had like a very limited run in the Avengers because she was a bit of a superhero. But like, so she ties loads of different. Like, they really should bring her back, and she'd be great. Like that actor would be great, just being completely deadpan.
Nails that role.
Yeah.
Like, she's
and just like not tolerating anyone's crap. Like would be great. Like, so I'd love her back.
Can't wait to kick some ass.
Reaper, you're making me feel awful. It was a mistake.
What is gonna happen with the whole Luke Cage thing, though?
Yeah, well, I think they should bring him back too because he was my call for his brilliant.
Yeah,
he is good. He was very good in the first episodes that I watched, and I was like, wow, this guy is fucking pretty on.
Yeah, the writing let him down. So the first half of Luke Cage Series 1 is amazeballs. It's great.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
really
good.
Drags so much in the second half.
Yeah, and the second series, they did it, like, they clearly had 6 episodes, but we're going to do 13 episodes and put musical interludes every 10 minutes. It happens so much in the second series. And you don't need that with Luke Cage. Like.
No.
Those Netflix shows suffered because some of them needed 13 episodes and some of them needed 6, but they all got 13 episodes.
Oh well, mistakes and lessons learned.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's crazy to think, like, Luke Cage in my head is one of the most important characters Marvel has.
Mm-hmm.
He led the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this, he's like the fourth most interesting character in a like a C-list set of shows. Like, this guy should be taken. Luke Cage should be an incredibly integral character to the MCU. I don't get it.
Yeah, but where would he slot in though in your universe if he was be slotted in to a movie?
He punches people and he tells people what to do.
But in terms of his storyline, in terms of his arc, like, where would he fit in? Like, would he be falling into
he's
like
confident, he's charismatic, and people like following him.
Like, where would he fall in terms of like? Would he fall into the range of like? I don't know.
He's got a...
Go on, Brian.
Oh, sorry. He has like a default position in almost everywhere he appears in Marvel, where he takes people down a peg. Iron Man's like, hey, we should just do this, and he goes, listen, you rich dickhead, that's not going to work, and you'd know that if you ever had to walk on the street. That's kind of what Luke Cage does, and that's why a lot of people respect him.
Yeah, he's an everyman.
Yeah. He's like a real everyman. He's great.
Yeah.
So when you grow up, you want to be like him, do you?
I'd love to be like Luke Cage. He's a charismatic, confident human being.
And I like that. What if Luke Cage meets a new Blade?
Sure he will.
Probably. Will. Wouldn't it be interesting though?
Oh,
Badassery from wall to wall.
Yep.
I'd be down with that. There'd be a lot of head kicking and a lot of techno music. You know what I mean?
I just saying that.
Raining blood.
Like, if you're making the Blade show, do you go right? We need like some hardcore electronic music for this.
And a lot of blood.
Like, I'm just like, is that the way you go?
I don't know. Like, I think, like, okay, yeah, fair enough. If we're gonna,
this is it.
It has to do with the era, right? Because the Matrix had that too. That lots of leather, PVC, lots of long coats, lots of dark gloominess.
Do you look forward?
That's the question, isn't it? Yeah, well, you could look forward with a fondness of looking back, but in terms of music, I do believe it has been 20 years, and people who would complain about that needs to be over 20 years old to be entitled to at least even further than that, nearly 40 into our age group. Okay, you're entitled to have that.
Marvel has been looking forward by looking back recently.
Mm-hmm. So I can see, if we're gonna go for techno music or rave music, I'd say it would be a bit more.
Or just we talked before, Blade or Wesley Snipes as Wesker.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
I would like that.
I would love that.
It is clear they're building a supernatural team because
totally. Like
that was laid at the end of Eternals, like so.
Yeah,
exactly.
Knight.
And then we're talking about feckin' Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
And I know for a fact that's all happening all together, all gonna talk to each other in that show or something like that. I'm telling you, put money on it. €2. €2.
They were. Feige was talking a big talk about Moon Knight being quite violent.
Like, not like I'm down for violence first, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So like there might be an acceptance for this new street level version of the MCU where they can not get away with it, they can do stuff like that as well as interact with the Hawkeyes as we've seen and other stuff. So
almost as if they're a bunch of Marvel Knights.
What are you?
Almost as if a bunch of knights.
I said this when the Netflix series started. They should label this as Marvel Knights.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Just let me into the MCU somehow. Personally, I just need to I want to be at the bar and give a snide look or something. That's all I want.
Did I read over the week? Is Punisher season 3 like definitely happening?
No, that's a rumor.
Oh, okay.
But apparently he's supposed to be getting some kind of integration back into the MCU. Apparently, and
I really like those 2 seasons of Punisher.
I like the character, the actor. Sorry, that plays Punisher. He's very good.
I actually didn't like him before it started. I was like, oh god, this dick is no and then I thought he nailed it as Punisher.
Yeah, he really just it was something waiting for him to be slotted into, you know? I find him very fucking good as an actor. But do you remember the movie of it, though?
Which one? Just been 3?
Oh, yeah, there was 3 movies.
Yeah, there was 3.
There was, what was the actor's name?
Last
He was always quiet. It was the first one that came out of it, I think.
Thomas Jane was the middle one.
I think so.
Yeah.
I imagine him, he always reminded me of that guy from feckin' Highlander. Conor McLeod. He looked like an actor.
That's Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane, the middle one.
Yeah.
I really like that film.
It's mad.
That film has, in my opinion, one of the most entertaining torture scenes I've ever seen.
If you're into that kind of thing, no kink shaming.
It's so funny.
Should I call someone?
There's no actual torture. He sits there and explains how when you get burnt with a blowtorch, thing, and then it goes cold, and so he puts on, then just sticks the ice lolly
into his side, and he's screaming. So good.
Died.
Dolph Lundgren, that's it.
Yeah, and what do you call it? John Travolta was the bad guy?
John Travolta's the bad guy, yeah.
Oh, that's a fun movie. It's real.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, yeah. And then Punisher Warzone was the 3rd one, and that's actually a pretty decent film as well.
Yeah, that was directed by, what was her name?
Yeah.
Lexi...
Me and names are never going to work out.
I can't do names anymore. I've struggled.
Yeah.
It does the thing I like where Punisher kills everyone at a mafia funeral.
Yeah, that's always a good time, isn't it?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's done in the game, it's done in the comics. It's just, he shows up, there's a funeral, like, I'm the Punisher, and they follow him, and they're just like, oh, now I have a machine gun. That's great. And then, there's another rumor I heard. You mentioned Ghost Rider's trailers were padded back to the internet.
What?
No idea why. Sony re-uploaded both the Ghost Rider trailers. So,
wait, like the old ones?
The old
Cage ones.
For some reason this week.
Now.
Why?
I mean, down the rabbit hole. New Ghost Rider film?
Listen, Linda.
Special editions?
Like, if I was them,
wait. What if it's a whole maybe it's a whole multiverse thing?
Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider in Multiverse of Madness.
God. Could you imagine him? He would.
If I was them, I'm like, wait. We have Nicolas Cage.
That's right. And he has CGI six-pack.
We can do silly bollocks with him all day long.
We could do everything with him all day long. Nicolas Cage.
Here's a little connecting thing, actually, with the Ghost Rider thing.
Go on.
So the trailer announcing that the NMCU is going to Disney Plus, for some reason, has Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. prominently in it as well, which has nothing to do with the Netflix MCU, but it does have Ghost Rider in it. Yeah.
What was it? Johnny
Stop
Blaze?
it.
They did
Not
the whole
listening
Johnny
to
Blaze thing.
No, it's the third one, the one with the car, Gabriel,
Okay.
the new one.
They did.
Yeah,
It
the one.
was Car Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Car Ghost Rider. As opposed to Ghost Rider. Yeah, he's done quite well actually. I watched a bit of it
He's alright.
last week when I was not watching Doom Patrol.
If
I
she
watched
gets
a
to
bit
meet
of that
Nicolas
series.
When
Cage,
I
it
was
was like-
not watching Doom Patrol, he says, like, he just hurts my feelings.
So let's say a scene just in Multiverse of Madness is her and Nicolas Cage.
Stop it! I don't like you teasing me like this. This is horrible.
That'd be pretty fun.
It'd be fantastic.
Look, I want Nicolas Cage in everything.
Dude, yeah. I think,
love
to be honest,
Nicolas
if they
Cage.
were to add Nicolas Cage to the Eternals, might be a different movie. I'm just saying. I'm just
That's
reading.
the best one.
I'm just reading the playing field. Could you imagine what kind of powers he would have? Not as Ghost Rider. Just replace one of the Eternals. I would love to see him as Druid. I know he's Irish. We love him. We do. Chuck Law. Sorry. But you know, just replace Nicolas Cage with him and just reenact the whole movie.
I would like him a bit more.
Anyone
I
out
think.
there wants to try that in editing, let me know how you get on. You will get millions of views. You're welcome. Just donate my share to what's happening in Ukraine. I'd be happy with that.
I love Nicolas Cage. He doesn't make a bad movie good, but he makes a bad movie really
Interesting.
watchable.
Really interesting.
I need to ever see Mom and Dad.
There's another movie of Nicolas Cage coming out where he plays himself.
Yeah, the massive weight of
The world.
giant talent.
Oh yeah, The Massive Weight of Talent or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'm looking forward
I'm
to
really
seeing
excited
that.
for that film. But
Yeah.
if anyone hasn't seen Mom and Dad, it's a film I watched pretty recently. It's well worth a watch. Nicolas Cage plays a dad. What happens is a radio frequency goes around that makes parents want to kill their children.
Oh.
Nicolas Cage plays a dad, and it's really, really fun.
No, that's
It's a goofy horror movie.
okay. I'm gonna look that up.
It's really funny. I like it.
I do like a Nick Cage movie.
So, the bootleg universe is a thing that I learned about an hour ago.
Yes, and Brian is really gonna explain. So hang on tight, guys, for this fucking picture, right?
Yeah, right.
I had seen things off the bootleg universe.
Yeah. Now,
But
I'm no expert myself. I've got like 2 days on the. I'd seen bits of it without knowing what they were. So the bootleg universe, right? The whole reason we're talking about this is
Go
that
on.
the first series from the bootleg universe called Guardians of Justice.
Oh, it's a series, not a movie.
It's a series, yeah, showed up on Netflix. It's about 7 or 8 episodes, and it kind of ties in with what the bootleg universe was. So the bootleg universe was a bunch of unofficial short movies that were posted to Netflix with insanely high production quality and like top level, like Ron Perlman shows up in them, good actors.
Yeah.
Thomas Jane plays the Punisher in the first one. It's a short movie and he does like a new kind of origin for the Punisher, and it's brilliant. It's probably the best bit of the bootleg universe, to be honest. There's a very famous one which I also watched, which is called Power/Rangers, which is about like the kind of the Power Rangers fall apart when they're adults. They're all in suits
I
and
can
they're all
see that.
grimy.
I
But
can see
again,
that.
It's
effects
hyper
are-
violent.
No one takes me
Very,
seriously
very-
anymore.
Oh, they're cutting each other up and stuff like that. It's good.
Oh,
And,
it's hyper violent.
Yeah, really. Yeah, very violent. And
okay.
I watched the most
Zack
recent
kills
one as
multiple
well.
people.
Yeah, I watched the most recent one as well, which is End of Pokemon, which is like a trailer for a Pokemon film where Ash Ketchum decides that he wants to be basically an environmentalist and free all the Pokemon. So
It's good.
yeah, they're all good. They're all available for free to watch on YouTube. So about 2 years ago, this guy Adi Shankar is his name, got hired by Netflix to come and do. I'm pretty sure it was to replace the MCU on Netflix. He got hired to do stuff for them. First thing
Right.
he did was start what was called the bootleg multiverse, which is so far all we've seen of it is Castlevania. But you know that in the Castlevania cartoon, there's this dream sequence where they see
Yeah.
flashes of all different games.
Yeah.
So all of these other games are other series that they're going to be making in the multiverse.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they're all going to be kind of connected while not, because they're all from different producers. But Yeah, so Castlevania is technically
What did
part
I
of
say?
this.
Flavors of the month, lads.
Mm,
Time travel, multiverse.
Diverse, yeah.
This
Okay.
guy, this
take me
guy
to
has a
Euros
Devil May
later.
Cry license as well, doesn't he?
He has a Devil May Cry license, so Devil May Cry is now connected technically
yeah.
to Castlevania, and very technically. But so Guardians of Justice, right, is kind of a new way of doing this. Because
First of all,
Guardians
can I ask a
Justice-
question? Because you've
Yeah,
watched it.
yeah.
What is, like, is he a bird? Like, what's going on there?
Well, you see, he's Nighthawk. So this is
Very
the
imaginative.
most stereotypical superhero series possible, which I think is the point that they're going for.
Okay.
So they are the Justice League. We've heard like the Boys and
Yeah.
Jupiter's Legacy. Like this is done.
I
loads
love
of times.
Jupiter's Legacy. That
Yeah,
upset
yeah.
me, the fact that he didn't renew another season. He left me hanging.
But in
Is
this
Nighthawk
one,
the main character?
Nighthawk is the main character, and he's played by DDP.
What?
Yeah. So you need to watch
Okay, I'm
this.
gonna check this out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check
Right.
this out.
So, but when I say that these are all ciphers for the Justice League, it's
Right.
like 1-to-1. So Superman is Marvelous Man. His name is Cal. He comes from the planet Caltron, and
Yeah.
he's vulnerable to Caltronite, right? And Nighthawk, who is Batman, he comes from Carnegie City, and he's trained a kid who he's raised as his own son called Mick Mason, who's fallen out with him and gone off on his own, and he is training another little kid who's like this vicious little sociopath who's called Little Wig, right? And so there's the Speed, who's the Flash, and she accesses the Fast Force. instead
Oh,
of
she's
the
a
Speed
she.
Force.
That's cool.
Yeah, they do a bit of gender swapping. and stuff.
Cool, right.
There's a Blue Scream, who is Black Canary, who's white and a man.
Or
And there's
Banshee.
Green Arrow. Yeah. There's Green Arrows, it's called the Bow or something, who's black and a woman. And of course, these two characters always go together, so they just swap both of them, type of thing, and so
Mad.
on and so forth. And there's a really cool, logical thing where Shazam is in it, but he's actually called Awesome Man because a child would actually name themselves Awesome Man.
Or Amazing Man
Like
instead of
that.
Superman. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's loads of, but
Would you
it's
have what would you have called yourself
Well, you
if you couldn't be
put out
Superman?
and you can-
Would you be like Awesome Man? What would you call
me?
yourself? Yeah, Brian. What would you call yourself?
the legend.
Legend
The
Man.
legend. No, just the legend.
Just at the age of 5, would you have thought of that? Okay, right,
Legend
grad.
badge.
That is something only an Irish person would say.
I'd be called the Legends.
Yeah.
I had a pint at
So-
the age of 2. I smoked 50 a day at 5. Fucking arse. I'm a legend. Don't
So-
understand why your 12-year-old has that deep voice, alright?
Hell yeah.
They gotta be the legends. You have to take out his voice box. Anyway, go on.
Anyway,
Keep going.
so this is such a stereotypical Justice League series. It's set in the 80s. Everything is, but
Yes, love the
it's
80s.
all about
Shoulder
how
pads.
it's done. Like it's like this is just the basis. It's clearly just going, I'm doing my Justice League story, and I'm going crazy. Like oh yeah, that's a good one. I would call myself Not Doom Patrol Man. You can thank the chat for that.
Why do you do this, Reaper?
Oh. So
We'll
this
talk-
is literally just.
We'll talk about this tomorrow.
I've always wanted to make a Justice League story, and I can't. Let's jimmy the names out a little bit, and I'll make my Justice League film
Yeah.
series.
And
That'll be
he's
everyone's
obviously-
homework tonight. You select 5 people and you gotta make your own bootleg superhero. That goes for people in chat. Next week, we're gonna look at our Justice League people that we want to make. Get 5.
The one thing about this series is they clearly had the budget to do special effects and everything, but at random
Just
times they
chose
break
not to?
into they break into either puppets or claymation or models or animation, just
That's
full
more
animation.
expensive.
More expensive
More
these
expensive.
days, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like super stylized, but of course, if you actually think about it, the original Superman series used to do this. So your man's there like, yeah, I actually know more about this shit than you do. You know,
The old Fleischer
when
ones.
people
Yeah.
complain about this. Yeah, the Fleischer stuff. Yeah.
God,
Fleischer,
So-
that's it, yeah.
Yeah. It's like real. It's all neon and 80s and really different. And some of it really landed for me. Like
Yeah.
someone asks DDP, like, you know, over radio, he's in his plane, like, identify yourself. He's like, I'm fucking Nightwing. Like, instead of I'm the goddamn Batman, he's got fucking Nightwing.
Fucking Nightwing.
So okay, this is the sort of lots of little references.
Yeah.
What do you mean 80s style Watchmen? What? Watchmen was 80s.
Yeah. Well, Watchmen itself is almost it's a similar thing to this, much more serious.
Yeah.
Why?
like-
Because Watchmen wasn't serious enough when they started flame throwing a bunch of civilians.
No, that's what I meant. Watchmen is much more serious.
I just want to check where you're at. That's, just want to be
no,
sure.
this isn't serious like that. It does
It's
have a few
violent,
serious
but not
points.
that type of violent, but almost parallel. You know?
But there's a big twist at the end. It's quite funny. I would advise people not to look at the trailer because one of the biggest gags is that the trailer is basically a scene from very, very late. Like, it's all metatextual jokes and stuff like that.
Oh man, I love those
Yeah.
type of movies and shows.
Yeah.
Because it has
So-
rewatchable. You know,
Yeah.
you can just, it's rewatchable, and I want that rewatchability, if you will. You know?
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I don't think I need more of this than I've seen. But
You're
for
just
a few
telling us
hours,
to watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch 5 minutes.
Yeah. But give it a shot, I would say.
I'll
Like,
give
I
it a
think-
6 minutes
Yeah.
because I'm not like you, you know?
Yeah, you're far kinder than I am. So it's you know, it's pretty.
Have a
good.
look. How
Yeah,
long is the watch
but,
time for? Is it in series or what?
It's a series, but it's only like 3 hours total to watch.
Broken into what, 6?
Yeah, hang on, I have to not ban Reaper again.
Here, girls want even me. They want me. Stop it. That's how I got
Hide
divorced
user.
in the first
Why
place.
is,
No.
why is there no ban option? Hide user, putting user in timeout.
Timeout 999999999, and then they're
Doesn't give me
banned.
Yeah. Timeout user.
Yeah.
Interesting choice of emojis.
They are very, like, fair play for the creativity. I do appreciate it. I really do. But I'll also take the analytics. Thank you very much. So, stop wasting your time.
So anyway, yeah. So like I don't know, because the whole point is the bootleg universe is now on Netflix. So I'm wondering if we now get like for example, there's one Marvel character that shows up in this entire thing. It's like everything is DC, and then suddenly a Spider-Man cipher is involved for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he can.
Because he can.
Yeah, probably because he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Called the Sepia Spider, so obviously it's a reference to Scarlet Spider. I think.
Ah, I like that.
There
So
you
it's
go.
not
I'm just looking up. There's this guy's making a Captain Laserhawk show based on Far Cry Blood Dragon,
Ha.
Yep.
and a show based on Hyper Light Drifter, which is a cool game.
Mm.
I actually think that could be really
That would be
good.
fucking awesome.
Hyper Light
Yeah.
Drifter was deadly. But,
So the thing with all this stuff is these are really good ideas, and like all the stuff that the bootleg universe has done before has been really good.
Yeah.
Castlevania,
It's, yeah, Castlevania's fantastic on Netflix.
like
fantastic.
it's so good.
Yeah, and if they're gonna go
So-
whole multiverse, I would like to see the take on it. That's for sure. I'm down for that. But then again, if it's kind of like Mickey Mouse, but you said it's decent, I'll watch 6 minutes of it.
I'm very excited for him to do Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
That's
good.
That's a franchise that deserves that. Just cool sword fighting and guns and stuff.
And lots
Demons
and
getting
lots of
shot in the head. And,
Yeah, oh, like that's just. That,
I
that
still like
well.
another Constantine. I'm just saying, an older Constantine. I'm just saying, if you still want those pennies, Keanu, I'm down.
If you want some good Constantine, the Justice League Dark animated movie has some really good Constantine in it.
Stop your
watched that
teasing.
not long ago. It was
That's
good.
right. I guess that's a pretty good one.
You don't know
so
anything.
I've talked about one dreary, dark, and serious thing. Let's move on to Batman.
Oh my god. Yes, it is so sad. And I say this as someone who does love her lovely comic book superheroes, movies, and everything else that comes in to entertain us. It's so sad to know that because of the IRL stuff that is happening in this world that we cannot avoid talking about, because it's a big part of it. The poor people in Russia will not be able to see Batman. I don't know if they'll ever will. So Warner Brothers pulls the Batman Russian release.
As basically everything in the world's been pulled from Russia.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot.
Monster.
There's a lot of stuff that's happening. So it's not just Batman getting pulled from theaters, which has only recently been released now. I think
out.
London. Yeah, it's out in London and stuff like that.
Anyone planning on going to see it the weekend?
Yeah, make sure you let us know if you're going to plan to see it. No spoilers, okay? At least give us 6 weeks. That's the rule now. Because the bike.
Spider-Man, yeah.
I'm gonna try and see it the
I'm
weekend.
fed up with your rhetoric.
3 hours
okay?
is so long.
3 hours.
I think an early Sunday showing might be the best option.
3 hours, like a lot of these movies are going for the whole 3 hour thing, which is kind of in fucking fairness to it. It's the norm. So yeah, a lot of stuff is coming out in the world of Hollywood. It's not just only the Batman that's being pulled. Disney movies been pulled as well, and of course Netflix is also possibly even stopping the service because the lads in Russia want to do a new kind of regulation where you have to have at least a couple of Russian government shows or whatever it is that needs to be ran. And because Netflix understands what's happening in Ukraine, they're like, fuck no. So they're pulling that, which is unfortunate because, not everyone over in Russia wants this.
Oh,
as we all know.
Nobody, as it seems to be almost nobody in Russia wanted this.
The people have already tried to speak out, and God bless them, like, they're protesting. And I know we see protests all around, like Europe and stuff around the UK or whatever, and even in America if it's loud, but that's a different story. But over there, if they protest, they know they're probably going to get locked up for a long time away from Russia.
5,000 a day is expected to be arrested in Russia.
Exactly. So it's hitting a lot of films, not only just Batman. It's hitting like Jurassic World Domination, Ambulance, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal in it, Belfast with Ciarán Hinds. Ciarán, not Corrine. Ciarán Hinds.
What a point to take issue with.
Okay. Just want to make that perfectly clear. He's a good actor.
Talking about the most serious stuff in the world and then getting pissed off at people mispronouncing an Irish name. Brilliant.
I have my reasons.
Oh my god, that was unexpected.
Sorry, I'm quite passionate when it comes to pronunciation. What can I say?
You're not a big fan of Niamh?
Oh my god, Niamh and Sioban is also my favourite.
Sioban, yeah.
Sioban, which is Siobhan, in case anyone was trying to figure that out. The best one, I'll tell you a quick side note on this whole situation. We'll get back onto the horse. Okay, I had a friend who told me that he had his kid, they got a dog, right? And they called this dog Fionn. And I was like, Fionn? And it's like, where did you get the name? It's like an old Irish name, blah, 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 blah. Because the dad or the boyfriend or whatever is Irish, his daughter now owned the dog or whatever, they got the dog together. And I was like, Fionn, how long did you have that dog for? She's like, 3 years. So I was like, it's pronounced Fionn. You've been calling that dog the wrong name the whole time. Yeah. 100% real. I have the DMs. This was several years ago. Your daughter is calling the dog wrong, and that fella says he's Irish. You want
Irish name pronunciation is a bit like Chinese character tattoos.
Yeah. Fucking madness.
Don't do it unless you're sure.
Yeah.
Or a native.
And even then, talk to an Irish person first.
Or native.
No, not about the Chinese character tattoo.
Nothing, yeah. Talk to a native. That's all I say for all those situations. Sure, talk to a native.
Oh.
But anyway, so going on with the whole Batman situation, forgetting about Ciarán Hinds. But anyway, Warner Brothers has announced that it's halted the Batman which is actually supposed to release to the country on Friday last. As we know, it kind of, it really did pick up on Friday with the situation. They actually put out a statement. I'll just read this out as well, just so everyone has their ideas. So in light of the humanitarian crisis, do you hear me? In Ukraine, humanitarian crisis in Ukraine, can't say that all at once with a few drinks in it. Warner Media is pausing the release of its feature film, The Batman in Russia. A spokesman for Warner Brothers said in a statement, "We'll continue to monitor the situation as it evolves. We hope for a swift and peaceful resolution to the tragedy." Now, there's no, like, the other thing I was concerned with is, like, what's the story with Morbius being released in Russia? Or Moon Knight, or Disney Plus services are obviously going to get pulled. So I have a sneaking suspicion that we have to see how it goes for those lovely people who want to see the movie, if they're ever going to get the opportunity. But given with the ongoing, sorry for the quotations, but like it's constant at this point, military actions in Ukraine and resulting in the uncertainty and the crisis unfolding in the region, we will be just pausing planned theater releases in Russia, including the upcoming release of Morbius from Sony. So thoughts and prayers for the situation that's happening. Hope it's resolved. It's quite
people
sad.
of Russia and Ukraine.
Oh,
I think it's
yeah.
bad for everybody.
Yeah,
And,
I never
let's hope
thought.
someone shitting in the head soon.
Yeah, we're not going to say that either. Of course, you know.
Well, I'll say it.
Oh Jesus, I just don't want to be demonetized. I'm just trying to be sensible with our situation, right? At the end of the day, we want everyone to be safe.
Sorry.
It is sad that
I just
people
don't want to be demonetized.
don't want to be demonetized as well. Not executed because, you know, in a way. But like, no, in all seriousness, it's tough. It's tough to watch and to see the impact. And I get to sit there going, I get to see the movie. But also, like, there's a lot of people getting really affected by a lot of stuff. And it's kind of hard to go to a cinema and really enjoy stuff now.
I want to bring it back to what we talk about. Someone just read a comic about Zelensky.
Yes.
Guys, what a hero.
What a hero. I've never heard such, and we could probably talk on about this, but if we're talking about if to make him like an actual comic book superhero, not trying to like be like, oh my god, it's so amazing, because of the work that the man has truly done.
Oh,
like,
yeah, completely.
I seen a clip of him as a comedian, because he's a comedian actor before he was president, playing the piano with his pee-pee. With a bunch of lads on some kind of American talent show or whatever, or Ukrainian talent show or whatever it was. And I know people like thought of him as a joke and stuff like that, but just to see how he's rallied everyone together and given so much fucking strength in the situation at hand, I can't help but feel some kind of 100-year-old ancestral pride bubbling inside me as an Irish woman. And I know I'm not the only one who has felt this. Because it has been spoken about, like, obviously, we've seen, like, even on RTE News, when the anchors pull on the Russian ambassador side and be like, so what's the crack? Like, this is what happened in Ireland. Like,
That was
interesting, but it's, yeah.
That was amazing footage.
Yeah.
That was
Amazing.
Else watching that. Yeah,
I don't often feel proud of RTE, but I felt proud of RTE for once.
Fucking right. And I say that
Paid
with...
for the license there, all right.
Yeah. That TV license definitely got paid with that fucking wording. But it's also, it's sad to see that it's turning this direction. And I feel helpless. Like, fair enough, I could do the whole donating and all that stuff, but I know that I've watched a lot of people from a lot of countries go like, fuck this. I know I'm not from there, but I'm heading over. They need people like me. Like, it just moved me to bits. There's a fucking beauty queen rocking a scar right now, and mind you, she looks good, okay, especially in the circumstances. But there's a lot of fucking women out there that said fuck the fucking gender role of this. And as an Irish woman, of course, if somebody said Ireland's under threat, this is the crack, I'd be home. You know, I'd be there with you. I'd be like, give me the knife. Totally understandable. But I'm watching these warrior women, these fucking Banfini, you know, fucking warrior hunters, right? Going out and protecting not only their fucking family and their friends, but the land. Women of all sorts of ages, up and down. You see a grandmother going into a soldier's face, giving him sunflower seeds. I'm like, if I could get a fraction of that woman as an Elwyn myself, I would be set.
Yeah, bravery. Measure.
Yeah, it's quite moving. I know I'm probably ranting about it. Brian, what are your thoughts? Go
On this whole thing?
Oh well, should I ask or?
Well, no.
Go on.
I feel, right, Russia has conscription, right? As far as I know.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of kids getting killed on both sides, and there's only one person to blame for the entire thing. The entire thing.
Only one man.
And my kind of angle on this at the moment is, you to be online, and you're seeing a lot of I'm a fan of learning about things called logical fallacies, which are like bad arguments and bad ways to think. And there's one called whataboutery. Whataboutery. Yeah, you know about this. Yeah.
Oh, they use that pretty well on the other side of the water, from what I understood. But go on.
Goddamn turkeys.
In this case, people out there are like, yeah, but what about Palestine? And I'm there like, yeah, Palestine's wrong, guys. It is wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Well done for waking up to it.
Yeah, but that doesn't distract from.
It doesn't take.
Like, we're not talking about that right now. Right now, there's these people as well. And we can talk about that. We should talk about that, and it should be talked about more.
Oh, yeah, because. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, and Palestine is actually a bad example, because what you're getting is Yanks who are turning into an argument about Trump and Biden, right?
Oh, God, don't. I had to tell.
You know what I mean?
I hate this.
Yeah.
And I have to say this. I love a lot of my friends over in that side of the war, but some of my mates, I had to turn around and was like, would you ever button the shut up? Because they're too busy like, oh yeah, it's Biden's fault. I was like, some child just got fucking bombed out of it. Can you just stop thinking about yourself for 5 seconds?
5 fucking minutes.
5 seconds.
That's my point.
That's exactly all I'm seeing every time I look over that direction. And like I said, it's not everyone, but there's a small fraction of fucking ages over there that are like, oh, but what about my feelings? No one's thinking of your fucking feelings. No one cares about your feelings right now. There's a real situation going on, sweetheart. You want to wake up. People are dead every day. And you did the same argument with the whole COVID, and people still died every day. So don't listen. I don't want to hear the selfishness. What about me? No one cares about you. We're focused on this, sweetheart. I'm not your mother. I don't need to give you attention every 2 seconds.
That's it. And like it doesn't matter what you want to turn this conversation into right now. The conversation should be, there is one person responsible for a humongous amount of ill in the world right now.
Yep.
Yeah. And it should not be moved from that. This is my thing at the moment.
That's selfish. That's what I see it as. Every time the topic comes up, when I see it, I was like, will you ever shut the hell up? Selfish. It's not about you. It's not about us. It's not even about me. Terrible.
And like you, I've got this constant feeling at the moment of impotent rage. Like,
yes.
I'm angry like I was when I was 15. There's nothing I can donate some money or whatever, but
it's the restlessness. Like, I know, like, and this is what I was trying to explain to himself. He's Swedish, obviously Swedish. Once you finish school, you have the option to go into firefighter, military, or whatever, and they have those options to have that, right? We didn't get those options when we left school. It's like, you're off. Right, yeah, gap year, J1 over to America, usual, right? But like, we have, thank God for our history books, because it's okay to face the truth. It really is. It doesn't mean we have to hate everyone because of what has happened in the past. It's learning and moving forward, right? But as an Irish person, understanding the history of what we went through, I was crying watching a documentary about the famine. Learning about mothers and no fathers, because probably they were dead or off in the workhouses, sending their kids off to America over a bridge called the Bridge of Tears. These people are doing something very fucking similar right now. It's not a famine, it is war, and it is some invasion that's happening. And I'm watching the same thing that not only happened during the famine, where they had to get their kids to immigrate and push them off to different opportunities, but it happened again several years later after our fucking rising, after our revolution, after our fight for independence, after shooting, they had girls younger than me, look as innocent, maybe if I am, going around with a Bible and shooting generals in the head. Like, they didn't want to do this, but it got to the point where it was either you live or you die, because you're either going to starve or you're not going to starve. You know what I mean? It was a case of kids going off to Kilmainham jail, babies as young as 5 years old, because they knew they could get food there. And I'm sitting there going like, of course I feel restless, and of course I feel fucking guilty for sitting here going like, oh, I could just donate. I can't. My ancestors would be pissed if I didn't sit there and go like, I'm ready to take someone in. And that's what me and himself, I'm out in the Netherlands. We're ready. I talked to my German friends, they're ready. Polish friends, definitely ready. They're definitely ready in Poland. Those fuckers need a fucking parade after that. I'm telling you now. But I can't help but feel and understanding my history more deeper, watching more documentaries and everything like that, and understanding a little bit more, and even having access to the information that we do, I can't help but sit here and watch essentially sisters that I'm fucking fighting with to have equal rights, to have my body independent. You know, like, this is fucking hurts me that I can't fucking do more. Like what is it I can do? What is it you need? And I just hate it, because I know, like, us Irish people, we have that inherited ability of being generous and reaching out and never forgetting. We never forget when someone helps us. And that's what I feel right now. Because I know for a fact that some part of us fucking migrated over to Ukraine at one point. You know what I mean? It's possible. We were everywhere, bitches. Doesn't even fucking matter even if you're related to me or not. The situation's still what it is. You're going through the same shit that I see. What our history's gone. And we only recovered the last 100 years. Barely. It's fucking sad. Sorry for going on a massive rant, but like...
I don't know how to continue after this.
It ain't like that. I'm sorry, but it's just...
So pretend war with giant robots.
Oh, God.
So anyway, let's just move swiftly on to Transformers.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
But anyway, there you go. Are you gonna cry? It's okay to cry.
Oh.
Is it too much?
No, it's not. It's not that it's too much. It is that, like, the next thing we have slated to talk about is a fake war with giant robots. Like,
Which is perfect.
It does seem a bit disingenuous for me to sit here and go on about how much I like this film. I do like the film, but you know, right now.
But remember, it's okay to have this. It's okay for us to talk about this, but at least we acknowledge the fact of what's happening outside. It's not us being disingenuous. It's enjoying the things that we can share here on YouTube. People still have access to us, okay? And if they are watching, hello, I hope everything is fucking fine, and we want everyone to be safe, and we love you. I don't know who you are, but we love you, right? We're here. Let us know, you know, if anything is needed. Of course, I'm not that kind of person, but it's okay. It's okay to be able to talk about things, because these are our escapes as well, you know? I use my gaming to escape whatever the fuck I feel upset with, or whatever the hell I just want to get myself feeling better. And this is also part of it. But also, it's okay, because we're acknowledging the fact that we know how heartbreaking it is, but we're not dismissing it by talking about this other stuff, because we want people to join in with us, you know? If that makes you feel any more okay.
A bit. Actually, and you're correct. You're correct. Like, everything can't be doom and gloom. If distracting people helps, then that's cool.
We
can't ourselves at least. Like
exactly, because if we sit there in the doom and gloom, it's a little bit addictive and can't get cozy. We don't want to slip too far with that, right? So bring it back up.
I want to start.
Go on.
They managed to kill off almost the entire cast. They couldn't kill off Blur.
Blur's one of the new ones.
I don't care. Oh God, I hate Blur.
What's wrong with Blur?
He's so
I
annoying.
How?
Wheelie is 10 times more annoying than Blur.
I love
Oh,
Wheelie.
Wheelie's also really.
If anything, if I was a Transformer, I think I could really identify with Wheelie. Honestly, do I not look like? Let's have a look.
And then,
Do a side by side. Who did it better?
I
Besides-
kind of identify with Grimlock. Me Grimlock need new strategy. That's kind of the
Yeah,
story
yeah.
of my life. Like,
I love Grimlock. I love Grimlock so much. This film's a blast to watch. It's kind of crap,
but it's 80s
but
crap.
it's so fun.
I was
and
born
love
that
it.
year, so you're saying I'm crap?
Like, it's almost like the storyline's
No.
almost unrecognizable. It travels at times at breakneck speed, and at times it kind of gets really sloggy, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
I went and watched a random G1 episode after this. The animation is so good.
Obviously, there's a
the film
comparison.
is really
But like,
so
how
much of
many,
this stuff.
how many years apart though are we talking about between that?
A year?
For
Well,
God's-
I know my shit when it comes to Transformers.
Bum,
So
bum, bum.
when Transformers '86, which is the film, came out, Series 1 and Series 2 had shown. They're the Earthbound series.
Oh yeah, then the
Transformers
other one.
movie,
Yeah.
yeah, came out, and then you get the one that's set in space, Series 3. That's the one with Rodimus Prime for obvious reasons, with Rodimus Prime's leader for the vast majority.
Yeah.
So they're the three Western series of Generation 1, and this is smack bang in the middle, and it led to a big change, kind of a sea change in the entire series when it happened, because they were refreshing the toy line.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why Optimus and Megatron were getting the...
And God, we got some horrific deaths early in this
Oh,
film.
Prowl's death!
Holy!
They killed off a lot of lads at the. I have to say, back in the
Oh.
80s, cartoons were really fucking not gory, but you know, like a little bit too violent for us youngins. You know, not as
Yeah.
Puppy Patrol. It's like your man's dying. It's like everyone's dead. You're like, I don't know if I should have been old enough or young enough to watch this.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this about this film, but at the time, this is kind of one of the very first entities where one of the properties that we love had a really big fan backlash. Because what happened was, when they killed Optimus Prime, children started crying in the cinemas
Yeah.
Yeah.
everywhere, and parents were sending letters going, "What the hell have you done?" So there's some prints of this, depending on the one you saw, you might have had a little bit at the end that goes, "Optimus Prime will return," or not, depending on whether it's one of the original prints or the one that they rushed
Oh
out to calm people down.
Jesus!
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I have seen the director talking about this movie, and he's like, for years I had people going, "How could you kill Optimus Prime?" And he's like, "I didn't know. I didn't know I was killing an icon."
But you could really, like, I think the last time I was hearing this update, they were talking around the time where they killed off Brian from Family Guy, and someone was mentioning how much of a backlash it was, and about the reprint too. Do you know it's like the 30th anniversary is coming past
For Family Guy.
for this movie? I'm just thinking of it
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I should know, I am the same age.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Well, I was like the perfect. I saw this in the cinema.
that's
So,
cool.
Yeah, I was the perfect.
Should we go
age.
Savoy? Is it the classic Savoy?
I did go to the Savoy. My dad brought me to the Savoy, and I have this deadly childhood memory of the usher taking the piss out of me and going, "Now, little boy, are you here for the Care Bear movie?" And I was like, "No."
Did you lose your shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
Here for the
Because
Transformers.
back then in the 80s, if you were
Yeah.
told you were a little girl, little boy, it was really
Yeah.
wrong. Because girls
Yeah,
are
you
nothing.
had to. Yeah.
Girls are nothing.
Yeah. As an adult, I would not care if a small boy wanted to see
A Care Bear, yeah, like now, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
But if you took the piss out of like loser shit, I used to always do that with my little brother. You know, I was like, I bet you kiss girls. I don't kiss girls. Ah. Great, love that shit. Best shit in the world. Anyway,
The first 20 minutes of this movie are amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazing.
they blow their load.
There's so much money spent in the first 20 minutes. The animation is such high quality.
Phrasing, boom. Sorry.
Like just that. I love the bit where they're trying to close up Autobot City. The animation that's really good.
The animation was fantastic, especially in the 80s. I can't help but like had that, again, I always say this when it comes to this kind of art style, obviously because it was back then, Saturday mornings, felt like
Yeah,
I had that cereal.
I love that sort of spectrum of colors that they use for cartoons back then.
Yeah, and especially when the title comes up and it's like,
Yeah, it's a specific color.
it's a specific bit of
colour idea.
epilepsy that you need, you know? It's like,
There's a neon there's like pink neon they like using.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pink
yeah,
and neon on gold. Always
Yeah,
on
yeah.
gold.
there's a shine to everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really 80s. Like it wants to have shoulder pads. Ugh, I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, mixing in that, and I knew the music was good. The music's so good.
So good.
Soundtrack of this film is incredible.
Sound is fantastic.
Dare is such a banger.
Yeah. The touch, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to think The Touch was the coolest song in the world, and now I think, oh, I think Dare any day. Dare is such a good song.
Dare is a great song.
Dare to Be Stupid is amazing.
Even the incidental music, you know, the like,
Yeah.
all the background music, that's done by Vince Dicola. That's the guy who does all the montage music in Rocky. So even like the B-roll music in this is, if you actually go and listen to it, it's all Savage Cabbage. Like
That's
it's all great.
deadly.
Yeah. So like
Man.
there are some people who say that this is like the perfect 80s soundtrack. Like
I
this,
love it.
I would kind of agree to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
Like
were
the
to
collection of
to frame my childhood in that soundtrack, that would be Actually, I might take that as like if I was born kind of soundtrack. This would be my soundtrack.
I know that this is like absolutely the soundtrack of my youth. This particular, like, because all of this stuck in my head, like, and I haven't. Do you ever have a memory and you're not sure if the memory is real or if you
The Mandela effect.
Yeah, child, you just decided this would be
Yeah.
an awesome thing, so it came up with it. When Optimus Prime, spoiler, Optimus Prime comes back in the series at the end of the next series.
Because
When
obviously.
he does, and he opens the Matrix, I have this memory of the touch playing when he does that. And I can't see that in a syndicated cartoon TV program. They went out and paid again to use this professionally made song. Like, but it's so embedded in my head that whenever anyone does anything heroic, like the touch or dare or hunger is playing in my head, like. Also, I saw this on the 25th anniversary. I saw it in the cinema again with like proper speakers around you.
Oh yeah, you're saying that the other
Worth
week.
it.
That'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
really worth it.
One thing that really stood out to me is how sexed up. What was her face called? RC.
RC.
She's a
RC.
sexy robot.
She has some like poses. Like she sits like she had like, hey guys, what's the next? You know, and even when she shoots, so like the legs are out and bent, which I don't
They
know
knew
how
what they
that's
were doing.
physically possible if you're standing. You know.
Yeah,
you were
I'm going to
doing.
send you a picture of an actual RC toy you can buy.
No, is it bold? Let me see.
It's
Send
not
it to me.
bold.
Hope
It's
not.
not bold.
I'm
but
gonna
it
tell my
is.
boyfriend I knew, and he laugh. That's all he does. Because he's like, I got a message for hypersex. I'm like, okay. Gotta see.
That's an actual toy you can buy of RC.
That's fucking mad looking.
That doesn't.
I
that
love
doesn't
the
surprise
way
me.
I love the way like they have the overall image, and then they have two smaller image, and then there's the image of just her chest. Like that's really necessary.
Robot cleavage is such a
Oh
funny thing.
man, like they're big enough, I suppose. Like.
I find like this is really weird to me. They're like RC isn't far from the only female Transformer. Even at that point, there was 3 or 4 other female Transformers. Now, obviously, it was way weighted towards boys because executives weren't thinking, oh, if we put in some more girl robots, maybe more girls might be interested. They were thinking we just sell to boys because people couldn't market.
I'm
properly.
man and you
That
woman.
was the 80s.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is.
Yeah,
80s
yeah.
stupidity, like. But like nowadays, you get characters like Wingblade and stuff, and they tend not to actually be sexualized. They're just female robots.
Yeah. But even
the
at
concept
that,
of female to male in robots. Remember I was telling you about the IDW series. They discussed that a lot. Like, does it even make sense that that anyone genders themselves? Basically,
yeah.
it only seems to create trouble when you do it. So
Oh yeah, like if you put a label on it, then you put another label on a similar thing, then you have division.
Exactly.
So
yeah. What's the point of the division? Like, that's
Yeah.
one of the discussions that they have. And
yeah,
and
that's it.
they kind of make RC trans in that series because she was experimented on. She was a male robot who was experimented on, and she has a female body. at the end, and everyone thinks of her as her and says her automatically, and she's there like, this
I'm a
isn't who I
dude.
am. Yeah.
Ah.
It's a very interesting angle on it, and there are plenty of female Transformers in the IDW continuity.
Makes sense. But then again, like you're
It's an
always
interesting
gonna
story.
you're gonna get like some of these fucking idiots, if you will. But like if you had like, how would it work if you're androgynous robot? No one can really give out about that. That's kind of like
A lot of robots are pretty androgynous.
yeah, exactly. So like even like people call their cars she. What's the fucking difference? Like
I
come
want
on
to ask
now.
you a question. I want to ask you a question, Brian, as someone who's been on the big Transformers fan for all this time.
Mhm.
I hate that they replace Megatron's voice actor with Leonard Nimoy halfway through the movie.
Oh yeah, that's
How-
right.
How do other people feel about this? Because I think it's a terrible idea. I love Leonard Nimoy,
Yeah.
but I hated that.
He's only there for those 30 minutes. He gets replaced with Frank Welker immediately in the series.
That's one of the things I'm saying is like they can't have him permanently.
Yeah.
No.
I really dislike it. I was like,
Yeah.
man, you screwed him
But
so
Leonard
bad.
Nimoy took up lots of work when ever since like Star Trek and all. Like he took every piece of work that was given to him. Like I mean, like that
Basically what
guy
happened.
worked and he picked it up.
name.
Big name, and he said, "I'll do it." Yeah,
But,
I
he wasn't
think
like
it's more.
Shatner, so
Yeah. Honestly, it's just a footnote. I don't hear people complaining about it. Like
I
Frank
love Frank
Welker is
Welker.
great. He's
He's
great
so
when
good.
he's back.
He's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
definitely.
Like yeah, I do miss him. I think Frank Welker and Peter Cullen should be given first refusal for every single time Optimus Prime and Megatron come up.
100%. Oh,
Fantastic voice
100%.
actors.
But
I
I've also seen other people do those characters great. So
I was gonna say as well. Is this the end of Starscream in Gen 1 or does he come back?
no, he comes back. He gets a very special.
That's me.
I like it. There's all these questions like, what happens after this film?
Yeah,
He
I'm just
comes back.
interested. I forgot them were like the Starscream dies in a horrified way as well.
Yeah,
He
he
melts-
literally, like,
evaporates. Oh.
evaporates, yeah, and his crown rolls off. It turns out, right, so all Transformers have a thing called a spark,
Yes.
Yeah.
is their soul. All right? So Starscream's spark is immortal. It can exist outside of his body. This is a
But
red
can I take his spark and throw it into another Transformer though?
Yes.
But can he still be okay? Can he make more sparks, or is that just one?
In one series, he can make more sparks because this is something that gets repeated throughout the continuity. This becomes a fan favorite thing.
Yeah.
How is that guy back in the chat?
I don't know, but he deserves to be shot out of a cannon into the sun.
What user in time?
Fucking report this.
Is it
fucking-
just waiting for its timeout to run and then starting again every time?
Oh, it's just automated.
I'm just gonna be the wise person and see if I can block him. But continue on
Yeah,
about
you
it.
do that while I'm talking. Yeah.
Go on.
So, what happens is in the third series, his ghost is like wandering around and finds a
Oh, I
transformer
think I've
and
seen
kind
some
of
of this.
latches. Yeah, he latches into them.
Yeah.
So, like when they invented the concept of spark, it's become this thing that Starscream spark is mortal, cannot be destroyed, can take over other robots, or can be put in new bodies. In the later series, you know the way there's Seekers, you know the way there's all these Transformers that look like Starscream.
Yes.
They in one series they had this idea that Starscream actually dissected his own spark because he could.
It's
Put a
Voldemort.
little, yeah, and puts a little bit of it into all of the other Seekers, and they're all actually different parts of Starscream's personality. So yes,
My biggest memory of Starscream is I was a big fan of Transformers Armada when it first came out, and
he's great
he
in
is
that.
the best character in that by a mile. He's amazing. I love
Yeah.
Starscream.
Yeah,
I love the idea of he cannot help but betray Megatron at all.
he really can't. Like, yeah. And I do like when they give Starscream more than just, oh, he's my second in command, and he's trying to, like, they do things where I want Starscream to be good enough to kill me because I need someone there to replace me.
That's
like I
the
like it
best.
when there's
That's such
I
a
like
good
it.
dynamic.
Yeah. I
Sure.
like it when there's more to it than just that. Like, why does Megatron keep this dickhead around? It makes no sense.
'Cause
I
he's
like it when
useful.
he is useful. He's actually very good at killing people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a
Like,
great soldier.
mhm. Another thing I noticed in this film, which I've never noticed before, is there's a thing in a lot of Transformer continuities where the only person Megatron really trusts or would call a friend is Soundwave.
Yes.
And you know, at the end of the battle,
Yeah.
When the Decepticons are leaving, the one who stops and picks him up and tries to save him is Soundwave.
Ha!
Yeah. So I think that might have been the very first kind of bit of that. Because prior to that, Soundwave was trying to stab everyone in the back and everything.
Was there always a second tape deck transformer? I forgot there was the Autobot one as well.
Yeah, Blaster
Yeah.
is his name. Yeah.
Blaster,
Or
yeah.
Billy in Japan. He's called Billy in Japan.
Why is it Billy?
Yeah, Billy. I don't know why. So Blaster's toy comes from the same toy line as Soundwave's originally did, but they bought Soundwave's first, and it was just incredibly popular in Series 1. So then they got Blaster for Series 2. So he had appeared by that point, but there is a run of like 40 or so episodes where it's just Soundwave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
The Soundwave actual tape deck is something I've always wanted.
Like
Yeah, you
for
can
at
get the-
home?
Yeah. They made a
Shit.
masterpiece one of, like, if you want to spend a little bit of cash on them, there's a really good one you can get that, like, you can do the whole pressing the button thing and making everything fully.
Those masterpiece transformers are an unbelievable piece of engineering.
They're insanely good
They're so nice.
because they're doing transformations that like were never possible with technology
Yeah.
in the 80s. Like they look just like the animation models.
I got the one for you right here, okay? There's a girl that actually made one. And it's a ring. And it's a Soundwave ring. And you can have it as a pinky. We get you that.
That's
And
cool.
it transforms.
Doesn't transform, unfortunately.
Oh.
But there is one here that costs 40 euros on AliExpress, so or you know. But I don't
You
see
can
anything
find
like clever
all-
expensive.
Yeah. You can find all kinds of knockoffs of Transformers. You have to be so careful when you're buying them online because there's knockoffs of the original G1 stuff that look like they're still in the packaging, being sold for 30 or 40 quid. And
Oh yeah, like we go to the Comic-Con down when it's when it was open, and they have a great section. Obviously, where you buy lots of stuff. So my man goes down there and hunts for like Transformers. And he's always like doing the checks because they all like they're fucking expensive pieces of gear, like from 80s. And you can smell the plastic of the 80s of it. So good.
I want the Transformers masterpiece line to start incorporate the old Power Rangers swords as well. I'd love the same level of detail.
Yeah. There's no reason why they don't do Power Master Swords because Hasbro have the rights.
Yeah,
That's
They could
right.
do it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
they yeah.
that's something that because they're doing a fairly high detailed version of the original Megazord this year, but it's not the same.
No.
Those
Yeah.
masterpieces are so high detail.
And expensive.
Yeah,
They make a lot of money off them, I'd say.
yeah.
A lot of
Then-
that.
Got off the topic of the actual film at this point.
But that's
Right.
why we love it.
Back to the film. Junkatrons. Eric Idle is in this film, and he's
Eric
wonderful.
Idle's in this film, yeah.
And he talks on TV. It's so good.
It's so 80s.
yeah.
There's
what
one,
is it?
there's one moment where they're on the planet Junk Planet, right?
Yeah.
And one of them is riding a bike. A Junkion is riding a bike next to a car. I think it's Blur or it might be Hot Rod. I can't remember.
lot of cars.
Yeah, a lot of cars. RC. It was actually RC. But RC's car
Are you
is
sure?
like a full is like a full-sized car, and then there's a bike the same size as the car next to the car with
And
a
both of them
robot.
transformed the exact same height. I know.
And my brain was, huh? Scale is always messed up in
Scale
Transformers.
is always Devastator wrecks Scale every
there's-
single time he gets made.
It doesn't matter. Back in the 80s, didn't care about scale. Only when we started to cop on layers, we were like, hang on, that doesn't actually make sense. Like, shit, they're all
Any
doing.
sense.
In the Battle of Autobot City, Devastator is like 6 times higher than anybody else, and then they have a fight inside Astro Train.
Astro Train,
And he
yeah.
fights
Yeah,
inside for
yeah.
some reason. I've always loved. I love the idea that the Decepticons are minus one Megatron away from falling apart at any moment.
Yeah.
One day, drawn away from falling apart, yeah.
And they've literally, if the start of the series after the film, they're all on this like asteroid called Char, where they're all just fighting each other over the last of the Energon. And Cyclonus has had enough, he goes off and finds Galvatron. That's how they kind of get themselves back together. So they do literally fall apart after the film.
Is Galvatron always that weird canon after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not a huge. I know when I can tell you, I'm not a huge fan of that design. I really don't like it.
Why? Because
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not on
interested.
scale, or
No, Megatron manages to an entire Megatron manages to become a gun that's small enough for Starscream to use. Scale means nothing. But just in general,
true. Yeah, I suppose this is making sense. Like, how'd you get smaller?
I kind of want my Megatron to be a handgun or a tank.
he can't. Well, that thing that he turns into is actually a tank. If you check his arms, there's tracks.
Oh right, I never
Right,
noticed.
so that is actually. I mean, it looks like a weird gun placement, but it is actually supposed to be a tank. And he can turn in that toy was a triple changer. It had like a handgun mode as well.
Oh,
The toys
right.
out for that feckin'. They're so good, man. I love. Do you ever see the toys that made us? And they had to explain how the toys was made first. And they're like, hang on, we need to make a show, and that's why we have this.
Like in all fairness, you kind of have to thank Reagan for this.
I'm not a big fan in many ways of American right-wing politics.
Exactly, it's one of those sad things. Like a lot of the things people love.
Just
you kinda have to
explain.
thank Reagan.
Just explain for the rest of us, there, Brian.
Okay, so Ronald Reagan was the guy that took
even Ada.
the regulation out of TV that wouldn't allow you to advertise toys using TV shows.
Yes, that's right. Because we
Before
have the
Reagan-
same law in Ireland.
Before Reagan, Transformers would have been illegal. You
Yeah.
could not have made it because it is explicitly an advertisement. There's it's very little, and so that's the reason Transformers exists, because of Reagan.
And
Why
what you were
not?
talking about, the entire series was, as you were saying, they bought Japanese toys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
rights to
right.
them. Yeah, including the Valkyrie from Macross, who is Jetfire and Skyfire. So you can actually you could buy a Valkyrie as part of his Transformer toy range. But anyway, the movie
Printed money. Sorry.
the movie is the first time they did animation models first, ever.
Really?
Yeah, so like Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime, Cup, Blur, Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge specifically were all designed
That's mad.
as animation models first. And that's part of why that Galvatron toy looks a bit jank, because the technology just wasn't there to
Makes
to make
I
it
sense.
work.
suppose, yeah, to make him.
Can we talk about how crap Rodimus Prime is?
Go on.
Talk
Gets
about a
Optimus
downgrade.
killed, like.
What?
He gets
Yeah,
Optimus
exactly.
killed.
It is reason Optimus dies.
Jesus, it's okay, God.
But he's a bit crap in general.
Yeah, he is.
He's not a good replacement for Robot Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Me and my mate were talking this, like, if Jesus was a robot, he would be Optimus Prime.
Yeah, Optimus Prime dies and comes back to life like all the time. Like, he's more like John the Baptist. Because
Yeah, it would be more John the Baptist if you're going with the story of it. It would be
But- 'cause
Jesus. He didn't resurrect in 3 days. Well, then
John
if
the
you did
Baptist
the
didn't
Michael Bay
have the
movie.
leadership charisma. I don't think.
well, maybe not. Yeah. Because
Not from the tapes I've seen.
the interesting thing as well is like Optimus Prime knows his god exists. He has a bit of him in his chest.
Yeah.
Don't they all? Yeah.
No, I mean, well, he can actually open up his chest and take it out and have a like. Here you go, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using it and then use it as a weapon to kill Unicron.
Yeah, use it as a weapon to kill anything that's made of pure evil because it's pure good type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's.
Wow,
that's a
talk about
creative
being
force in the
righteous.
universe.
Be a bit
Yeah.
humble, okay? God.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, he doesn't
It's
need to have
okay,
faith
I
because
got
he literally
this.
physically. Yeah, any problems?
One of the things I love with this film is, I love that Ultra Magnus is like, I probably shouldn't take this. I'm not a really good leader, and then over the next
proves
half
right.
hour proves he's a really bad leader.
Yeah.
By every time he makes a choice, it's just
Worse.
him trying to minimize loss and never try to win, and he's
Hmm.
really not a good leader.
I can't deal with that right now.
There's so much fun. I would love. I think the film at times is at a breakneck speed. I would love more Inside Unicron. I think the Inside Unicron stuff is so cool. Like, It's like Evil Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
It is.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Like
It is.
It's designed so differently to the rest of the film.
Every room they go into is different, and there's like a different. Like, you could do a horror movie that is trying to escape from inside Unicron.
That'd be cool.
That'd actually be interesting, but I don't know how that works with robots. Oh no, he's after us! Like that's pretty much it. Everything that's
They do go back. His head is now a moon around Cybertron. They actually do visit it a couple of times in the series after. Like, so
reminds me of Nowhere.
For anybody that knows, Unicron was Orson Welles' last voice role or last role in anything.
He hated it.
And he hated it. Yeah.
He thought it was so dumb.
It's crap. But like he has a very, very distinguished voice. You know what I mean? Very.
His last
Look to hear him pissed off.
It is my destiny. That's so funny.
So they retcon basically the planet Cybertron is Primus. It's his opposite light god, god to him. That can also turn into a giant robot if he really needs to. The Matrix is like a conduit between the leader of the Transformers and Primus, and it's kind of like the Matrix gets passed between generation to generation to depending on the series. It's either someone who's like force sensitive, like certain Transformers can use it and certain can't. In other series, the Matrix is making a conscious choice. Like when the war started, it chose Optimus because it knew that like this guy's a killer. this guy can lead an army, no problem type of thing. And
unlike other people,
it's pretty obvious in this movie. That's what happens.
Yeah. Well, like Optimus shows up and takes out half of the Decepticons on his own. Like.
Yeah. That one of my favorite shots of the whole movie is Optimus spin flipping over and shit.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's such a good bit of animation.
I love the bit where they shoot at him and there's the flames. He kind of explodes out of flames. And you're like, like 8-year-old Brian's just there going
having a fit, and then like later on Brian's like, Jesus, I was into it.
That and I think Unicron's transformation are my two big favorite bits of animation in the whole movie. Unicron's transformation is amazing.
Yeah.
For the quality of what they delivered in the 80s, and I probably feel very naive, but there's a lot more 80s animations out there. Some mad shit, I can't even think of the name of it.
The movie actually feels expensive when you watch it now. You're like,
it had great quality to it.
Yeah, from what you know of 80s cartoons, this is so beyond everyone else.
I can't remember which house was, but this was animated in Japan. By a proper animator.
I'd imagine it had to be animated in Japan, to be honest with you. Like I can't even think of the other movies. There was a vampire one it was like an anime. I can't remember, but it was 80s. Like 80s anime was fantastic looking with stuff.
Probably Vampire Hunter D.
Probably that. I'm gonna Google right now.
But like the animation of this is so far, like all of Transformers is technically anime. But they spent so much money on this. It was a financial flop at the time. It's made its money back. Yeah, of course it was. It's made its money back probably 100 times over. They release it every 5 years.
See, I don't think this was sunk cost. This was advertising. I don't think they give a crap about the money.
Yeah,
1985 it was Vampire Hunter D. Yeah, that's it.
As long as they sold toys off the back of this, if this was a success.
What do you mean they sold toys off the back of this? They fucking sold all the toys off of this.
Well, as a kid, I immediately
screamed at your dad.
I annoyed my parents into getting me both an Ultra Magnus and a Rodimus.
Could you imagine like a smaller version of Brian with the same head, tugging at you? Daddy, I want the truck.
Magnus is a great toy as well because he's actually a vehicle carrier as when he transforms, so you can put other cars on his back.
Him.
Yeah, into him. So he's like he carry all your Transformers around. This is great.
Could you reminiscing? Like,
I think I'd have went for Cyclonus. I think Cyclonus is really cool looking.
Yeah, he is. He's really cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to get myself an RC just so like a really changed narrative. She looks
Robert
great.
Stack was Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, Robert Stack. Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. I used to have horrible nightmares about that man. I used to cry every time my man used to put it on. I don't want to watch the man. Shut up and let me watch this thing. 80s is a different time, guys. It was a really different time for TV for kids.
Yeah, it used to be Unsolved Mysteries for me, and then WWF was on directly after.
Yeah,
So like
because it was
Saturday
always
nights
on,
were the bomb.
Yeah, Saturday nights were great because I knew my man and dad used to fuck off out to the pub and like, wow, this is gonna be great. We're gonna have WWE or WWF. I remember one match in particular was the King of the Ring with Hulk Hogan in it back in I think it was '91 or something. That was vivid. But Saturdays and Saturday nights are always the same. Even like the crap shit, like what was her name that used to do the dating show?
Black.
That Gladiators. We had a whole thing for Saturday. End of the night was WWF. It was a different time, guys.
I didn't expect this to come up, but
sorry, go on.
The producer for Dare to Be Stupid, Rick Derringer, was also the producer for Real American.
Oh, I did not know that. Rick Derringer.
This is what I read earlier on today, and I was like, this might probably won't come up, but hey, you mentioned Hulk Hogan.
Well, there you go.
I had a blast watching this.
So did I.
I would recommend anyone else to have a look at it. If you haven't seen it and you're like, oh, it's super old, just shut up and watch it, okay? You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I didn't like the parts of RC because, you know, she's a bit stereotypical, but sure.
I haven't mentioned just
80s.
The impending doom that is Unicron is, I think I love this idea of a villain. It says on the poster there's no good or no evil, and that is to me the essence of Unicron. Unicron, there's no malice to what he does. He's just hungry. He's a force of nature. I love that.
I agree.
Or Beyond Good, Beyond Evil was the poster, wasn't it?
Yeah, Beyond Good, Beyond Evil.
Yeah.
And like he's a character that's just stayed around. Like he was loved, hated obviously, but also loved. Like, yeah, Unicron's in everything ever since.
I don't understand how you could not bring him back. Like it's you have this murder god planet. It's such a cool.
But we're looking forward to new Transformers, though, right?
No.
Aren't we at some point? I think so. Wait, I heard something, or maybe I made up lies. Hold on.
No, there's a new Transformers film coming out, and also a new Transformers TV series.
Did you just laugh at me?
In the near future.
Did you just laugh at me?
Is it a TV series on Netflix?
Did you laugh at me?
Oh, in fairness, I haven't seen Transformers
Did you laugh at me?
Did
you laugh
at me? Laugh at you?
Did you laugh at me?
No, I laughed at the situation.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, the new Transformers Battle on Earth is no longer between the Autobots and the Decepticons.
Yeah, there's a third party,
There's a third party.
The Sharkatrons!
No, it's the Predacons and the Terracons join Transformers in Rise of the Beast in theaters June 24th, 2022.
That's happening.
Number 7. Yeah. But apparently there was some cancellations with it.
It's funny because I remember reading this. I was like, oh yeah, they're doing Beast Wars, and then I forgot all about it.
Beast Wars.
It was pulled from its release schedule and effectively cancelled, which doesn't signal much in the way of good news. But can't say the fact that it wasn't something new coming.
It's funny. I love Beast Wars. I try to go back and watch Beast Wars. Beast Wars looks worse than G1.
But like the question is like, will this actually happen? Because I don't know. I haven't had a look at IMDb.
There's too much money in Transformers films.
Are you just saying it like it's happening whether you like it or not, or?
Pretty much.
Okay, just want to make sure where we're at with this.
Yeah, that film is going to happen.
It's happening, Kevin. Sorry, you're not involved in this. Sorry.
It's Paramount's cash cow. It's their version of the MCU. Like they're not.
Well, this looks like it got moved to 2023.
Oh, okay.
So plot unknown, reportedly based on Transformers spin-off. The actors that would have been in it would have been...
Not a spin-off, it's a continuation of Generation 1.
Well, Ron Perlman was supposed to be in it as Optimus Prime. Primal, sorry. Because it's going to be
Primal, yeah.
Beasts.
Oh,
Anthony
cool. Ron Perlman as
Ramos.
Primal.
Yeah, and
Lila
Peter
Langer
Dinklage.
Villas, Peter Cullen as Optimus
Yes,
Prime.
Yeah, the idea was to do everyone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I don't know, there's no real like update. It says 2023 on frickin' IMDb, but I don't know if it is cancelled though.
No, it was put heavily back. It's June 9th, 2023.
I wonder what they'll
Canon.
be doing. Optimal Optimus. Optimal Optimus is when Optimus Prime spark goes into Optimus Primal's body. So he kind of supercharges it.
Don't even do this to me, Brian. I don't want to hear that. That's ridiculous.
Turns into a giant metal ape.
That could be what's happening.
That is Optimus Primal, though.
That is
but a
Optimus
giant
Primal.
metal ape.
But that's the pictures
like-
I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, he's like an Optimus Prime ape, if you know what I mean, as opposed to Optimus
Oh,
Prime.
he's a red,
Primal.
white, and blue.
Yeah,
An
a giant
Optimus
robotic. Yeah.
Primal.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Primal as a, you know.
But yeah, I'll watch that. I love.
Would you
I love
know?
Beast Wars.
Or would you watch 5
Yeah.
minutes of it? Because I can never keep up with you. Or
Oh
Brian.
no, I'll watch more than 5 minutes of it.
Arsehole, I hope you're choking your
Maybe.
drink. Unreal.
Yeah,
Oh, but before we move off this,
Where can you watch it? Where can you watch it? The
I've no
Transformers
idea, 'cause
movie.
I have physical.
Oh, ooh, he has a
One of
physical
the rare
copy.
things I have physical copy of. So.
Well, it's on
Ooh,
VHS.
Do you have the nice 25th anniversary edition that came out a couple of years ago?
No, I got the 25th, I think.
Ah,
Yeah.
It's got a
I
commentary
seen
track
there's
by
a
a guy called Chris
there's a
McFeely,
version of it on
who's
YouTube that I
Irish.
managed to catch up on. I don't condone it, but like you know, it's there while it's available. YouTube's aware of it.
I downloaded a 18 gig Blu-ray copy and it was glorious.
Don't know why you say this on the internet. Don't know why he does this to us. We don't condone these stuff. Good.
Before we head off of it, one thing I wanted to share, which people might not know about this,
You're pregnant, aren't you?
which I will. Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
To couch this with a question:
Go on.
where were the combiners? Where was Superion? Where was Menasor? Where were the Protectobots Defensor? Where was
I
Briscus?
only know of Devastator from G1.
I don't know them.
Okay.
Probably at the pub.
So there's the aerial bots. There are other combiners other than Devastator
Yeah.
who were around at this time. They weren't in the film. There is a Japanese-only OVA prequel to Transformers the movie. If you want more of this,
Oh, I actually
called
do.
Scramble
That's-
City.
Oh.
Scramble City.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube.
There you go.
Okay. This could be good.
I wrote Sidious and shitty for some reason. Sorry.
I've never
Um,
actually watched. I've never watched the Transformers thing in Japanese. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think I can't
And
remember.
it's-
I watched it years ago, so
It'll be so
I can't remember.
aggressive. I'd love it.
Convoy, as Optimus Prime is known in Japan.
Convoy, yeah.
Convoy is- yeah.
Keep it
Loads of them
simple.
have, as I was saying earlier, like Blaster's just Billy.
I love it. Billy.
Billy, the
Billy.
giant robot. Like
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Jazz
I
is
know.
Meister. Some of them have cool names. Meister is pretty cool.
Meister's dead
Who's Meister?
Jazz.
No.
Ah, Jazz. I like Jazz. I like the
Yeah,
name.
Jazz is a cool character.
It works for a Transformer. I gotta hit Blur to bring it back to what it started with.
The band or Blur? Oh, Blur as in
Oh, I
like,
love
okay,
the
yeah.
band.
Okay, I just
I
want
love
to
the
make sure we're
band.
But the question is what we want to watch this week. I know we're gonna have to eventually watch Batman and talk about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't guarantee I'm gonna have seen it by. I'm gonna try and see it this weekend, but
I'm in the
Not
same
definite, you know.
spot.
Typical.
Uh,
I'll have to
so-
watch it from Otis.
if you want to choose something, I think I chose this.
I chose the other thing, but everybody refuses all the time. So Brian, you could pick. Well, you already picked
Okay.
Transformers, did you? No, you chose.
No,
Brian.
I chose Transformers.
Aiden actually, yeah.
It felt like
which
it was
is
a
funny.
Brian thing because he
Yeah,
was so
I-
gurging about it.
I think you mentioned at one point we're gonna have to watch the Transformers movie. And I'm like, oh yeah, we'll definitely watch that.
Yeah, it was. I could talk
He's
about this
in.
for hours. I was like, I know you can. I know you can. What do we? What do you want? What you want us to watch?
I'm tempted to say.
Blade Trinity, and I swear to God.
No, a good one. But
Why is it?
Superman 7 or Superman 1 or Superman 2?
Oh.
Ooh.
Benedict Donner.
Yeah, a bit of dick.
Some thick dick.
Some thick dick, he says.
Both of them are great. You know what? I think I prefer Superman 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
The first superhero fight
It's Zod.
with Zod, yeah.
It's a good
Yeah.
fight. I know they
Good
kind of
film.
recreated that in the new one, but like the original one, when he's sitting in the bar and he's, oh, what was that one again? That was the third one, I think.
Look, I'm not gonna like. Man of Steel can fuck off and go talk about this. I hate Man of Steel.
I don't hate Henry though.
Yeah, we do Superman 2.
I don't
Superman
hate Henry
2?
Cavill as a person, but I hate his Superman. As a
All right,
character.
Dado, Jesus. It's okay.
He, as a person, he seems pretty cool.
He's a big, sexy nerd. There, I said it.
Yeah.
I know he heard
I
me
s-
upstairs,
I s-
but
I
he
saw-
knew it just the moment he said, wait, hold on, does he like Warhammer? I was like, yes.
Yeah, I saw a
Yeah.
video
Watch
from
the
going to the
video.
Warhammer offices.
Division. Fall into the
Honestly,
trap
I'm
with me.
straight. I am straight as an arrow, and I'm attracted to Henry
You don't
Cavill.
even have to announce your. You don't even have to announce your. It's just it's a mutual nod across any board.
Yep,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mutual
100%
nod.
would.
Yeah, would. All of us would. 3 times. Let us know, Henry.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good lad. Superman 2 and Superman Returns. Oh God, could you imagine how contrast that would be?
Yeah, that's just, like, you're already 2 hours and 30 deep, I think, with Superman 2 or something like that, aren't you?
I'm-
So-
Yeah.
I don't think I
Ado
could stay
can't
awake.
afford 5 minutes, and neither can Brian. You see,
I don't think I
okay?
could stay awake for Superman Returns. That film is so boring.
Yeah, Henry building a
It's not
PC.
bad,
Sorry.
but oh god, it's boring.
Okay, so we're gonna do Superman 2.
Yeah,
We're gonna see the real, like,
I'm not-
real fight, 70s style.
I'm gonna try and remember it before 5 o'clock on next Wednesday.
I'll
That's
add
a
you.
good idea.
I'll have you added to the calendar and set reminders, gents. If I have to move Mueller in this situation, I will.
I was so smart. Like, no, I can leave for
So
that.
so smart. All the smartness. It's okay.
Wait to work finished, and then yeah, thank God, only an hour and 25 minutes long.
Well. But anyway, but we know what we're watching next week. So next week we're
Yeah.
gonna have to figure out what we're all gonna be talking about. We're just having to keep an eye on the news. I know I will be, especially for the reviews of the Batman. We'll definitely talk about that, even if we don't see it. Obviously,
I'm gonna
some
try
people are
to
gonna have
talk about it,
opinions.
yeah.
We're gonna see the opinions because I'm hoping this is gonna be like. I haven't heard any roaring review, but mind you, the news has been taken up.
I've seen a couple of good reviews.
Haven't
Yeah,
heard anything
middle to
myself.
Good. Middling good. Middling
Yeah.
good is what I've heard.
Middle and guts.
Yeah.
Middle. Okay.
Middle.
Middle and guts.
I'm ready for Robert Pattinson to show me he's a great actor,
Yeah.
Good.
because I've heard it from loads of people. But I don't think I've ever seen things.
I thought it was very good in Tenant. I didn't even cop on it was him for a moment. I was like, it's not that bad of a Twilight. Like towards the end of it when he was leaving, I was like, he's good. I didn't even realize he was in fucking Harry Potter. Not saying like his, crafty, talented acting skills or whatever. I'm just saying the child blends, So I'm hoping for that shit. This movie ruined my childhood. It's okay.
Which one?
It's okay, Fuzz. And it has Spacey.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Superman Returns has Spacey in it. We're not doing Returns, kids. Superman 2. OG.
I forgot that.
We can discuss the whole trope of superheroes lose. That could be a thingy to write about, actually. The whole thing with the superheroes losing their powers in the second film.
Oh
Happens
yeah.
so much.
So
Fucking Spider-Man.
much.
Yeah.
Love it.
Or quitting. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Watch her over at the lighthouse. Jesus.
Is what do you call him? Who is Lex Luthor at this stage? Because he
Your man with the he's a young fella. He played Social Network movie.
no.
that's it.
I mean, in Superman 2.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
becomes what do you call him in 3, isn't it? The comedian.
Oh, Richard Pryor was in the next
Yes.
one where he does the whole
That's
like
what it
is.
wheeling and
Yeah.
dealing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a not Lex Luthor in the third one, right? there's another businessman who wants to take Superman down or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
It's been a long time since I saw Superman.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to put that on the shelf for the next one to watch. But Superman 2 is definitely gonna be on. Oh god, it's gonna be so good. That was a great movie. I love the fight scene.
Yeah, I recall
and
there's
the
a fight scene where
graphics
someone is
of them
someone's
floating
like-
away.
someone is actually underneath a bus. It's not CGI. There was no CGI. That dude was holding, like, I mean, obviously there was a crane.
Yeah.
But, like, he's under a bus. Like, I'm so scared.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like okay, not I'm saying nobody thinks it is. Like I often fucking slips on mine. Man, there's no fucking CGI, yo. Like you look at some of this stuff that we've been watching back in the 90s and the 80s and so on. Like they put a man under an actual bus. There's not like if that thing fell, if the crane went, that's it. Mushy actor.
Real life effects were really cool back in the
Real
day.
life effects were real. And people got into trouble with it as well, if I remember right. Remember that whole scene that happened in
People got
Vietnam?
hurt, like,
Yeah, the helicopter fell on top of people.
yeah. Used to happen.
Anyway, on that morbid note,
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching.
want to thank everyone for joining us today. Make sure you hit that lovely subscribe button if you hit the notifications so that you know that we're live. And next week we're going to be talking more about everything in between with superheroes and comics, and make sure Brian tells us more of what he's watched with Doom Patrol.
That's not Doom Patrol.
Okay?
Think, where can the world find you?
You can find me in your bathroom. No, you can actually find me on Twitch. I'm live during the day doing the talk show for talking about gaming and banter, of course, to talk about weird things I find on TikTok, but that's a different story. But sure, Googalski me, man. Auntie Tinkerbell. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, in your bedroom window. You know yourself. Brian, where do we find you?
Brian Von Doom on Twitter. Usually, depending on what I'm doing that week, you'll either find me posting weird, obscure panels from comic books, or talking about fighting games, which is the other thing you do. Twitch.tv/AsOneLive if you want some live competitive Fight Man's games. I'm there.
And if anyone wants to follow me on Twitter, it's at AODHAIN616.
Well, good. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this
Well,
hectic episode.
it was hectic, but we managed to get there, though. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Bye.
Bye.